Alright. Hello, everyone. My name is Chris. This is going to be my first YouTube video on book readings, on book stuff. I am in the middle of 2 books. This is just going to be a quick thing, introducing myself to you all, and hoping that, I get a bit more into doing this than what I've tried to do in the past. I'll talk about myself for a little bit. I am 30, a little bit old to be starting YouTube, but whatever. Better late than never. I work an evening job, so most of my upload schedule is going to be very strange. I may upload videos at midnight. I may upload videos it'd be like 1, 2 o'clock. I may upload videos at like noon. So, kind of whenever I get a chance to do it. For me, books that I'm interested in, I tend to enjoy reading fantasy and fiction more than non-fiction or romance. Not to say that the books that I do read, there is no romance in them at all. I just do not like the romance genre as much. I am just getting back into reading after not reading or listening to books for a very long time. Basically, since my schooling days, I've basically stopped reading, and that is mostly because I didn't have any money to buy books. Now that I have a stable job and a little bit of disposable income, I will be buying a variety of books, hopefully, and getting bookshelves, which is why there's no bookshelf behind me, like most booktubers do, because I don't have a shelf yet. I literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have half a dozen actual books to my name, and then a small collection of D&D books. I'm going through 2 different series right now. I am re-listening to a series I listened to earlier, which is 1,000 Li by Cao Wang. I am on the 6th book in that series. I am listening to that book at work on Audible. 1,000 Li is a cultivation book series. If I remember, I will put the cover of the first book up. That follows a young man by the name of Long Wu Ying. This is set in a fictional version of China, and we follow his journey to be a cultivator. For people who may not know, cultivation books are book series that follow an old version of Chinese and Taoist and Buddhist mentality of perfection and perfecting oneself, but as opposed to doing it through multiple reincarnations, you perfect yourself physically through the use of the world's chi or chakra or whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to voice an opinion on anything like that. And through purifying both body and soul, you reach immortality and enlightenment. And the book series follows his journey and his adventures on that path. There are 10 main books in the series, the 10th one having just come out recently, which is why I am re-listening to the book series. So I am very generous. I'll leave my Goodreads profile link in the description for my channel, but I don't give low ratings usually. I'm pretty generous with my ratings. I'm not a book snob or anything. I don't tear a book apart. If a book's good, then I give it a good rating. If a book is bad, it gets a bad rating. And, I don't tend to read books I know I won't like, thus I don't tend to give books a low rating. For me, most of the Thousand Lee series, of the 9 books I've listened to, most of them are 3 to 4 stars. I think I gave all of them 4 stars on my Goodreads, but a couple of them are probably more accurately a 3-star over a 4-star. But for the series as a whole, the series itself would probably be a 4-star book. 4-star book series. It's very good. The characters are very well written, at least in my opinion, for what it is. And it is a YA book series, and I take that into account. We're not looking at huge amounts of depth in it, but the depth we have is there. This is also really not a review for the book series, because I personally don't like doing book reviews. So, just for me, I've never enjoyed doing them, and it reminds me too much of school when I was forced to write book reports, and I never enjoyed doing it. I'll talk about a book, I'll recommend a book, but an actual, plot summary or something like that isn't really up my alley. I'll try to get into doing it a bit more, but it's not something I've ever really enjoyed doing. The second book series I am in the middle of is this, which is the Inheritance Trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. This is the entire collection. This is the 3 books in the trilogy, and the novella, The Awakened Kingdom. So I am 572 pages into this book, which is into the second book. I am done with the first, and into the Broken Kingdom, which is the second book, and I actually enjoy this book. It's taking me a bit longer to get through than most books that I enjoy reading, where I'll just sit down and read it for hours on end, mostly because I don't have hours on end anymore, other than on the weekend, on Saturday, when I'll read a couple hundred pages. So, the writing style in this is different than most things I've read. This book is written in such a way that you could imagine yourself sitting down at a table across from the narrator, this is written in first person, so it is the main character, and have her telling you the story. There are points in this where she completely interrupts the flow of the story to give a bit more backstory on something, or to clarify something, or to just go off on a tangent as if you were having an actual conversation, which is pretty interesting. The first book follows a character by the name of... Let me go get her name again. Yen Aramiri. Or at least that is who she becomes. Yen Aramiri. And it follows her journey from becoming a small-time, nobody, a low-ranked noble, so low-ranked that she might as well not even be noble, and doesn't really have any actual, weight in any decision-making, to becoming the heir to the Thousand Kingdoms, and what she ends up doing with that, and the whole competition that is surrounding the succession. I'm into the second book, which follows a different main character, a blind girl who seems to have some ability to draw pictures that link worlds is what I'm getting from the bit that from the description that we were given of what she can do, which is really interesting. So the first book in this series, again, I don't really give much for general reviews, and I'll try, like I said, I'll try to get better at that. But the first book in the series, The 100,000 Kingdoms, I'd probably give a 4-star. It was very decent. The characters were well written. There were a couple of instances where things felt like they were kind of dragging on for an unnecessary amount of time, but other than that, it was really good. I'm about halfway through the second book-ish. It's hard to tell with them all being in one collection. But the second book, right now, I'd give it a 3. I don't like the main character in this one as much as I liked the main character the first one, and the story for the second book is a bit harder to follow. It doesn't really seem to be going anywhere. But I'm not finished with the book yet. So, but that is what I'm reading right now. And so yeah, so I figured I'd just say hi, introduce myself. I'll try to put up a video once a week talking about the book I've read, and I'll try to do like a reading vlog on like Saturday when I do most of my reading. So that is going to be the end of this little short, just kind of an introductory video. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is recorded on my phone, so if the sound is a little weird or whatever, that's why. I don't have a camera yet. This is, hopefully if this kind of takes off, I'll be able to get the actual equipment I need. But, again, my name is Chris. I hope you guys will enjoy joining me as I kind of dig myself back into the hole that is my reading journey. But until then, I am going to sign off, and I wish you guys all a good and wonderful day, and hope you guys find a book that truly interests you today to read.